Look, there's a finger over there pointing to which way we should go. Go that way. That way we go.
You know, we're hunting elk up around, I guess we're probably about 10,000 feet here. And, you know, when you live at about 2,800 and then make that jump to 10,000, it takes a couple of days to get adjusted. It'll kick your butt to start with. But on this particular day, it's not normally windy up there, but on this day it was terribly windy. It was probably, I'm guessing there were 40-mile-an-hour winds on top of this ridge. And we happened to see some elk out in this meadow, and they were kind of working their way up towards this little saddle, and we were able to get in front of them and actually made a pretty cool stalk on them just across open ground, and got pretty doggone close. This cow that you're looking at, actually, you know, here she's only about 40 yards, and she ended up getting to within, I don't know, I'm gonna say about 20 yards. And it, you know, I never did have a clear shot that I felt comfortable with. You know, it looks like from this angle, it looks like there's nothing in between us, but I'm actually having to look through that little white bark pine to see her. I just love being that close to elk. You know, it's cool. So we messed around with these elk for a little bit, and there was a, I'm gonna guess there was probably a dozen elk and one small bull there, but they eventually ended up going across that saddle, and then so we went across the drainage and got in on some other elk. We had actually heard a bull bugling down in this draw and dropped down in on him, and ended up, this was one of the best days of elk hunting I've ever had. We got in the middle of a bunch of, oh, there were probably 3 or 4 different bulls started bugling, and we ended up calling in Teague's here running the camera, not doing a very good job at it, but he's doing double duty, calling and raking on trees, calling in this bull here. But this little bull ended up, when he finally gets the camera on it, this little bull ended up coming in and actually bedding down within about 50 yards of us, and he stayed there for, I'm gonna guess, an hour, bedded down, and pretty much just had us pegged, and we had to sit there while this little bull was bedded down for that long. And you know, normally in a situation like this where you're down in a draw, the wind is gonna give you away normally, and you can hear all those other bulls bugling there. But on this particular occasion, the wind just stayed steady, and it was amazing for that long. That little bull um, never found us out. He starts to get a little bit nervous once he got up. He actually came within about 10 yards of me, but he's super jumpy, and I don't know if that was because of us or if the other bulls had him nervous or what, but you'll see he kind of spooks a little bit once he gets up and starts coming towards us. See, he's bugling in his bed, just sounds like a little spike bugling. I've seen I've seen big bulls, like 340 bulls, do that same thing. Just kind of in their bed, just, you know, they sound like they don't have any mass to them at all, and they're actually big bulls laying there. They're just kind of not giving it their all. So they can be deceptive for sure. So there's actually a herd off the other side of the ridge, which that's the bull you hear bugling there. But he's probably got a dozen or so cows with him, and this bull is starting to head over towards him. He's actually headed towards me a little bit, but like I said before, he gets super jumpy before he gets to my shooting lane. I never did get a shot at him. You can see how he's not fully committed to walking. He's taking a step, stopping. His ears are pinned forward. And he's nervous. You can tell by his body language. He something's not quite all well in his world. He's probably about 15 yards from me right now, but it's that kind of dense, brittle mahogany stuff. There's no shot at all. See there, I can't tell if he's looking at the cameraman or what, but he saw something he didn't like. So when that little bull took off and ran like that, I think that herd bull that's down below that was bugling heard him, and he actually came up. But again, he never did get into my shooting lane. The herd bull came up to within probably 20 yards of me, and ended up, I don't think it's on camera, but he ended up running this little bull off, and then ducked back down into the mahoganies with all his cows. There you can see my head just come into the frame there. So close. So that herd bull's just kind of, there's some coyotes yelling. That herd bull's just kind of slowly working his way up towards us. You can tell he's getting a little bit louder here and there. God, I love that sound. Teague's just throwing out some little puny bugles and raking on a tree just to make that bull think there's another bull up there. And here they come. Lead cow. There's actually a little cut, kind of a little wash that goes down that they're going to walk across. So you gotta look close, you can see the arrow.
Alright. Holy shit, that was freaking insane. How long did we wait for him? That one bull had us pinned down for like an hour. At least. How many bulls are in here? What'd we hear? There's gotta be 5 bulls. It's like freaking Yellowstone. Yeah, 5 bulls are bugling around us. All at once.
That's a long shot, but I hit him. It's just a little bit low, I think.
That looked like a good shot to me.
It felt good.
I was zoomed in on the bull when you shot.
Give him a little bit of time. We'll walk down there.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So when I shot at that bull, I had no idea how far of a shot it was. You know, I gap shoot, but my gap is set instinctively. Basically, I use my arrow tip to line up my left and right, and then the up and down is, you know, just I learned that through knowing my equipment and repetition. And when I stepped it off, it was at 35 yards, which for me and a self bow, that's a long shot. I can make that with a modern recurve, modern longbow. I can drop them in, you know, a 4 or 5 inch circle at 35 yards all day long. But with a self bow, with the exaggerated trajectory, it's a much tougher shot. But I felt very, very confident in my ability to make that shot. There was no doubt in my mind I could make it, and pulled back and let her fly, and turned out well. And they're still bugling.
I got a booger on my nose. To commemorate this. It's getting cold out.
And so we tracked this bull. He probably went 200 yards, and got him quartered out and hung in the trees that night, and packed him out the next day. Don't forget to subscribe.